Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking through a couple player props I like on Prizepicks for tonight's NBA slate on Saturday, April the 27th. Now we have 4 games on Saturday, so we have kind of like an all-day slate. The first game of the day starts at 1 o'clock Eastern Time between the Magic and the Cavs. That's game 4 of that series. And then we got the next game, Pelicans Thunder. Then we have Celtics and Heat, and then we have Lakers and Nuggets. So really cool day of action, with the first game of the day starting at 1, and then you have pretty much basketball on all day. 4-game slate for Saturday, and I've got 3 early props, guys, that I do like for these 3 games. We're going to talk through, not these 3 games, these 4 games, but we're going to talk through the 3 plays I'm liking for tonight, kind of taking a first look at the board on Friday night. But before we do get started, as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, if they do help you out, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet, and if you guys are new to Prizepicks and if you don't have an account over on Prizepicks, you can sign up, linked down below in the description, or use that promo code NOAH when you sign up for Prizepicks, and you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. And we do also have a partnership with Sleeper. If you guys don't have an account over on Sleeper, you can sign up for Sleeper, use that promo code NOAH over there. You'll get your first deposit matched up to $500. Now, if you don't know what Sleeper is, they are a DFS pick'em app similar to Prizepicks, where you pick over or under on player projections, you build out an entry. You are able to make up to an 8-pick entry on Sleeper, and you're able to win up to 100x your money. Sleeper does do a lot of discounts all throughout the week. They give out discounts on player prop or on points props for NBA. They'll give out sometimes discounts for MLB. They'll discount pitcher strikeout props. They do those throughout the week. Plus, they give out free squares as well for all new users. So when you sign up, make a deposit, use that code NOAH, you'll get a free square added to your account. I think you get multiple free squares added to your account that you can use towards any entries. Usually it's a $10 limit on the free square entries, but you can make a 2-pick, 3-pick, 4-pick entry. You can play it however you want, but definitely sign up for Sleeper, guys. And again, if you don't have an account, use that code NOAH. You'll get your first deposit matched up to $500 over on Sleeper. But before we talk through our props for Saturday, what I'm liking, kind of taking a first look, I do want to recap the plays we gave out Friday night. So we gave out 2 props Friday night. Unfortunately, man, Paul George, we took him over 20.5 points, and Paul George had a terrible game Friday night. He was in foul trouble the whole night. He only played, I have the box score pulled up, he only played 30 minutes because of foul trouble. He picked up like his second foul late in the first quarter, and then he subbed back in the second quarter. Then he picked up his 3rd foul, so he had to sit the rest of the second quarter. And then I think he wound up picking up his 4th foul in the 3rd quarter. They let him stay in the game, and then I want to say he wound up picking up his 5th foul too. I mean, he was in constant foul trouble. Never was able to get into a rhythm. He had 7 points in the 30 minutes he played. Shot 3 for 11. And what's crazy is that Kawhi Leonard played limited minutes on Friday night. Kawhi Leonard only played 24 minutes. And if you would have told me we were going to get Paul George's points prop at 20.5 with Kawhi Leonard playing limited minutes, I would have felt so good about Paul George going over that line, and he just played absolutely terrible. Couldn't make a shot, was in foul trouble. And then we also took Karl-Anthony Towns over 26.5 PRA. Now, at the time I'm recording this video, it's currently halftime in that game. Karl-Anthony Towns, he has 19 PRA at halftime, so looking pretty good to go over. But Karl-Anthony Towns also, go figure, has been in foul trouble. He only played like 12 minutes in the first half because of foul trouble, but he was productive, has 19 PRA at halftime. We need 7 more or 8 more PRA from him in the second half. Feel pretty good about him getting that. Hopefully he can avoid picking up any more fouls. But it's not looking like a good day Friday night because of Paul George. He let us down. Felt really good about him going over his points prop, and go figure, gets in foul trouble and can't make a shot. But you know what? We move on to Saturday, guys. We got 3 props for Saturday. Let's talk through the picks I'm liking for tonight. So first prop we're going to take a look at is going to be a points prop, and we're going to look at Franz Wagner at 19.5 points. And I like the under here, so less than 19.5 points for Franz Wagner. And let's talk through why I like this prop. So if you look at what Franz Wagner has done in this series, he has gone under this line in all 3 games. In game 1, he had 18 points. In game 2, he had 18 points. And then last game, he had 16 points. This is not a very good matchup for Franz Wagner. Franz Wagner is a player that relies on driving to the basket for scoring. He can take jump shots, but a lot of his scoring comes from drives. So far in the playoffs, he has led the team with 16 drives per game. So he he relies heavily on drives. He relies heavily on scoring around the rim. In Cleveland, they're one of the best rim defenses in the league. So far this season, they're giving up the 4th fewest points in the paint. And if you look at what Franz Wagner has done versus Cleveland this season, this is a matchup that he has really struggled in. Not only has he gone under this points prop in all 3 games against Cleveland in this series, but in the regular season when these teams played, in the 4 games he played against Cleveland during the regular season, went under this points prop in all 4 games during the regular season. 14, 19, 17, and 14 points. And there was even a game where he played 41 minutes and he still scored only 14 points. Now, is Franz Wagner going to play a lot of minutes here? If the game's competitive, he probably will. In Game 1, he played 37 minutes. In Game 2, he played 37 minutes. Now, he did only play 30 minutes last game because it was a massive blowout. Orlando could not miss last game. They put up 121 points, just completely blew Cleveland out. You would expect Orlando to hit a little bit of a regression here. You can't expect Orlando to go out there and put up 121 points again like they did last game. And even with them scoring 121 points last game, Franz Wagner still went under this points prop. So I like taking the under here on 19.5 points for Franz. Like I said, Franz really struggles. He tends to struggle against teams that have really good rim defenses. They protect the paint really well because Franz, he does like to score off drives. And if you look at Franz this season, if you look at some of his highest scoring games, a lot of his highest scoring games this season have come against teams with bad rim defenses, specifically the Wizards. I know he played the Wizards like 4 times in the regular season, and he had some huge scoring games against Washington. And it makes sense because Washington, they were one of the worst rim defenses in the league. They gave up like the 2nd most points in the paint. Well, that's the complete opposite here against Cleveland. One of the best rim defenses and a team that limits points in the paint. So really think this is a difficult matchup for Franz. Like I said, he's gone under this points prop in all 3 games in the series. Like him to go under here as well. So that's our first prop for tonight is Franz Wagner, less than 19.5 points. Next prop I like, going to be a points plus rebounds prop. There's actually a couple props I like here. Specifically, we're going to be taking the points plus rebounds, but I think there's multiple ways you can look at this. We're going to look at Jonas Valanciunas, 25.5 points plus rebounds, and I also like the under here, so less than 25.5 PR for J-Val. I think you could also look at taking under 27.5 PRA. With that, you're pretty much hoping that J-Val gets 2 assists or less. If he gets 3 assists, then it's not, you're going to want to take PR instead of PRA. So far in the series, J-Val has gotten at least 2 assists in all 3 games in the series. So I feel a little bit better about PR than I do PRA. We have seen J-Val have games where he can get like 5, 6, 7 assists kind of out of nowhere. So I feel a little bit better about PR, but I don't mind taking less than 27.5 PRA as well. And let's talk through why I like this under. So you're probably going to wonder why I like this because J-Val, he has gone over this line in all 3 games in the series. 2 games. They've only played 2 games. I don't know why I thought they played 3 games, but they've only played 2 games in the series. Game 1, he was really good. He had 33 PR, 13 points, and 20 rebounds. Last game, 19 points, 7 rebounds, just barely went over. The minutes did get cut down a little bit for J-Val last game. Now, the game was a blowout, but he only played 23 minutes, and we've seen the minutes be very volatile for J-Val this season. Now, without Zion Williamson, they are a little bit more secure, but you're still going to see the center minutes split between J-Val and Larry Nance. And we know Larry Nance is always a threat to steal J-Val's minutes. If you bet player props during the regular season, you know there were so many games during the regular season where J-Val would get benched for Larry Nance, and Larry Nance would start the second half over J-Val. Will that happen tonight? I don't know. But I think with the minutes downside that J-Val has, I like taking this under here. I even like taking some alt unders on J-Val. I've seen some guys that I follow, some guys I'm kind of friends with in the DFS gambling industry. I see they're playing, they're taking alt unders on J-Val, basically taking him like under all, a bunch of stats, like under 10 rebounds, under 10 points, under, you parlay all these unders. And if you do get the game where J-Val, loses minutes and gets benched for Larry Nance, well, pretty much all those unders are going to look really good. And the reason J-Val is always a threat to lose minutes is just because he's kind of a defensive liability, especially in this matchup against Shea, against Chet, guys that are quick, that can drive past J-Val. J-Val's very slow on his feet, so he really struggles to defend, guards. If he ever gets switched on to guards, it's going to be a big problem. And we know the Thunder, they're a very good team. They're very well coached. They're going to hunt J-Val on the defensive end as much as possible. And there's just so much downside for J-Val when the minutes have never been secure for him. I know so far in the series, the minutes have been there, but he's pretty much been, he's been productive when he's been on the floor, but he's not really been a boost for the team in terms of, just in terms of like plus minus, in terms of just being productive, when it comes to helping the team win. Like the stats that he's putting up, I saw someone on Twitter say it, and it's very true. Like the stats he's putting up are like empty stats. I mean, the Thunder, they're like letting him grab rebounds or almost letting him score because they want him to be on the floor, because I think the Thunder have an advantage when J-Val's on the floor versus when like Larry Nance is on the floor. So I think we might finally see the game where J-Val, maybe loses minutes for Larry Nance, gets benched. Even if he does play, 26, 27, 28 minutes, it's not a guarantee he's going to go over 25 and a half points plus rebounds. And if he's going to have to defend Chet Holmgren, Chet Holmgren can take him away from the basket, could potentially limit his rebound opportunities. We saw Chet, I want to say it was last game or game one, Chet was making a ton of threes. He was bringing, Joe-Val away from the basket. So I like the under here on 25 and a half points plus rebounds. I feel like most people are not going to like this under because J-Val has been productive in this series. But there's a lot of downside when it comes to his minutes. His minutes are never secure. He's a threat to get in foul trouble as well, especially if Shea's going to be, if they're going to try and switch him onto Shea, and if Shea's going to be driving at J-Val, there's definitely some foul trouble risk there. So I like this under of 25 and a half points plus rebounds, and I was looking at a lot of sportsbook odds. A lot of sportsbook odds like the under here on J-Val. His PRA was favored toward the under. His points plus rebounds was favored towards the under. I like the under here as well. And again, if you are betting on a sports book, I think it makes some sense to parlay J-Val unders. If this by some chance is the game where he really loses minutes, his minutes get cut down, you could parlay like all of his unders and hit a really big payout off of that. That's something you could sprinkle a little bit of money on. I definitely would not recommend putting a lot of money on that, but I think sprinkling a little bit on a parlay with all of J-Val's unders does make some sense. But that's the second prop I like for tonight. And then third and final prop we're going to take a look at. People probably aren't going to like this one as well, but we're going to talk about a points prop I'm liking. And we're going to go to D'Angelo Russell, 14 and a half points. I like the over here for D'Angelo Russell. I think the reason people are probably not going to like this prop is because D'Angelo Russell last game was atrocious. He scored 0 points. He played, I think, 24 minutes. 24 minutes, 0 points, shot 0 for 7. Horrible game from D'Angelo Russell. Can we expect that to happen again, though? I don't think so. And I think this points prop of 14 and a half feels like a little bit of an overreaction to last game. When it comes to this Lakers team, man, like the Lakers right now, they're not getting much help from their role players. LeBron and Anthony Davis are having to do everything. LeBron's playing over 40 minutes a night. Anthony Davis is playing over 40 minutes a night. We did see Austin Reeves get over 40 minutes last game. And then the minutes were pretty much just split between the rest of the guys. Rui played 28 minutes. D'Lo played 24. Spencer Dinwiddie played 22. Gabe Vincent played 20. And Taurean Prince played 20. So I think we know we're getting big minutes from AD and LeBron. I feel fairly confident we're getting somewhat big minutes from Austin Reeves. After that, it's kind of just who's playing well. And you would think D'Lo's probably going to bounce back here after scoring 0 points last game. D'Lo, he can be a very frustrating player to just take a prop on because he is inconsistent. He'll have games where he goes out there and he's just draining shot after shot, and then he'll have games where he goes out there and he just can't buy a bucket. We talked about how it makes sense to parlay a lot of J-Val unders and hope that maybe that's the game that he gets benched. I think this could be a spot where if you want to take obviously this D'Lo prop, you could, but it feels like when it comes to D'Lo, he's either scoring like 5 points or he's scoring 25 points. It really feels like there's no in between with him. He's either going to go off or he's going to have a terrible game. So maybe if you want to take I don't know if they have a demon prop up for D'Lo. I don't think they do right now. Let me search his name and see if I can find one. So yeah, right now they don't have a demon prop up for D'Lo, but if they do add one with maybe for him to put up 20 points or 25 points and you can get a really high payout on that, I like taking that, honestly. I think this could be a game where D'Lo bounces back. Look, he got so much. He just got so much slack, shit from the media. Even people on Twitter, Lakers fans, shitting on D'Lo. I'm a Lakers fan. D'Lo, he's been good this season, but he's had some stretches where he just he goes out there and he just looks lost, and unfortunately that was one of those games last game when they really needed a win. The Lakers at this point, do they have any motivation at all? Do do they even think they can win this series? I mean, their chances of winning this series are slim to none. But you got to think the Lakers at least come out at home and try and play well. And D'Lo, I like a D'Lo bounce back game here. He's not going to shoot 0 for 7 every game. He's not going to play 24 minutes every game. This is a player that averaged like 32 minutes per game during the regular season. I know there is downside on D'Lo's minutes because, again, if he's not shooting the ball well, if he can't make shots, then he is a threat to get benched. But I don't think that's going to happen again here. The Lakers already said they're going to keep their starting lineup, so they feel confident still giving D'Lo minutes. Again, at 14.5, D'Lo could hit this like in the first half if things were going well. If things were going poorly, this bet won't have a chance. It'll be a total loss. You're probably going to know after the first quarter if this bet has a chance to hit or not. If D'Lo starts out and is like 0 for 4 from the field, it's probably chalked. But if D'Lo comes out and makes like his first couple shots, very good chance this could hit with ease. So if you want to take some alt overs on D'Lo, I'm buying into this being the game he bounces back. So I like taking him to have 20 points, 25 points. And if you can get a really high payout on those, that's something that I do like. But on Prizepicks, his points prop right now is set at 14.5. I like the over there. Again, I'm expecting D'Lo to play 30-plus minutes. That's what he's played most nights this season. The 24 minutes he played last game, I don't think that's something that we can expect to happen every game. Can't expect D'Lo to shoot 0 for 7 to only play 24 minutes. When he's played 30-plus minutes, he's been able to go over 14.5 points more times than not. And again, the first 2 games in the series, he played 41 and 39 minutes. Are we going to get that many minutes? I don't know, but I would expect 30 plus. I think 24 is like the literal floor for D'Lo. Like things would have to go very bad for him to only play 24 minutes again. More times than not, he's playing 30 plus, especially with how little offensive weapons the Lakers have right now. Like they're getting no offense from anyone else. I mean, at least D'Lo can create his own shot and can get hot from the field and can score. Like literally no one else has shown the ability to do that on the Lakers besides LeBron, AD, and Reeves. They're getting nothing from Prince. They're getting nothing from Rui, nothing from Dinwiddie, nothing from Gabe Vincent. They have to play D'Lo, and they have to hope that D'Lo can make some shots. And at home, where he can feed off the home crowd, I like taking the over here, 14.5 points for D'Lo. Honestly, this is probably more of a narrative play, if anything. I don't really buy into narratives much at all, but I definitely feel like the narrative is there for D'Lo to have a bounce-back game here. And even looking at sportsbook odds, like a lot of sportsbooks are favoring the over on this D'Lo points prop, which obviously we like to see as well. So those are 3 props, guys, that I'm liking for Saturday's NBA games. Franz Wagner, less than 19.5 points. J-Val, less than 25.5 points plus rebounds. And D'Angelo Russell, more than 14.5 points. So if you guys are going to tail me on these 3 plays, let's hopefully hit all 3 of these plays tonight, make some money. As always, I do appreciate you guys watching these Prizepicks videos, supporting the Prizepicks content. Hit that like button down below if you did enjoy. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. And if you guys are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have an account on Prizepicks, use that code NOAH. When you sign up, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. But that's all I got for tonight, guys. Good luck. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.